You do, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the lively art of conversation. Tonight we're expanding our show to 90 minutes because we have a special added attraction we'd like you to meet right now. This is Muhammad Ali, the former heavyweight champion of the world. A little bit later we'll be joined by such outstanding women as Joan Rivers, the comedian, actresses Ann Sothern and Arlene Dahl, and two outstanding authors of best-selling books, Marie Brenner, who's written a book called Going Hollywood, and Sarah Kernigan, who's written a book called Dry Hustle. They'll all be with us after our Muhammad Ali is a visit. Well, champ, you're still a champ to many, many people, including me, and you don't mind if I call you champ.
You can, I appreciate it, but I don't accept that idea until I get it back. Leon Spinks is a good fighter. He won the title, and he deserves to be called champ. But after I beat him again, then you call me champ. But he's the champ.
You know, your comments after you lost the fight in this amazing upset, a 10-to-1 underdog, a man who's been out of the amateur ranks for only 7 fights, you took in very good spirits. You made some very cogent comments which won the hearts of a lot of people.
Oh, you had to give him credit. I mean, he was 10-to-1 underdog. Excuse my little horse just coming back from the plane from Bangladesh, had the air conditioner on and went to sleep. But he was 10-to-1 underdog. And they were saying after round 10, it's all a matter of time. Some said I get him in 11, some said I get him in 12. And he was 7 fights, he's just an amateur. The reason I was quiet and wasn't doing an interview before the fight because he was a nobody. And I had nothing to talk about. I was ashamed to be fighting him. That wasn't it. I knew he was young, he was good. I was 244 pounds. I barely made it down to 224. Crashed, died, and almost killed myself. And I knew he was good, and it proved to be. And I told him he upset the world like I did when I beat Sonny Liston. They said I didn't have a chance, but I did. So I didn't know the man. I knew nothing about his professional skills, or how he would be after 10 rounds. They only went 10, won twice. And the press never knew, so I figured that with the rope-a-dope, you know, that's the style where when I go in, I lay here and watch him and just let him punch until he tires and give him 4 or 5 rounds. Well, I might lose 4 or 5 rounds. We got 10 more to go. He'll be out of gas, and I'll go get him after that. It worked on Norton. It worked on Foom. It worked on Frazier. It worked on everybody. But it didn't work on him.
Why?
Man, I don't know. After 5 rounds, he was still blasted. I said, man, I better go and try to win these rounds. This man might not get tired. Angelo Dundee kept saying, he's not going to get tired. He's not going to get tired. I said, he will get tired. He's human. Man, he kept going. And after round 6, I think I started stepping up. And it was even round 6, round 7. But I won round 8, sticking and moving, dancing, the old style. I won round 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, I had to catch up. Now it was 5 rounds for him, almost, and 5 for me. So round 11 was even. Round 12, he won. Round 13, 14, and 15, because I ran out of gas. But
You ran out of gas.
Well, I don't make no excuses.
No.
Because
Well,
I
that's
hate
no
to be a
excuse,
sore.
that's the
So I
truth.
told the people I'm not making no excuses. But I'll tell you the truth here. I weighed 225 at the weigh-in. I weighed 228 at the fight. Really, that's too heavy. I got about a couple times at 228, I think I could do it. But my fight weight next time be 210 or 212. Like when I first
You think you can make that?
Oh, yeah, I can make it.
After the fight, your brother looked at you and said you lost because you were not in shape. Was that a pretty accurate description?
No, that wasn't accurate. I was in shape. I lost because, number one, he's good, better than we thought he was. Number 2, I didn't plan my fight right. I gave him 5 rounds. See, if you get behind 2 rounds, you got to win 3 to pass the man. You got to win the next 2. So I gave away 5 rounds and thinking he would get tired. When he didn't, I couldn't catch up. So he's just better than I thought he was.
When did you feel in the fight that you were going to lose? Did you have a feeling?
Yeah, when round 12 came, and he told me for Angelo, which is right, if you win the last 3 rounds, you win the fight. So I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
You told Angelo that in between rounds? Oh, yourself?
They'll be too frightened if I lose their confidence.
Yeah.
But I lost 12, 13, 14, 15. I lost those 3 because at the weight, I just completely run out of gas from catching myself. And he was hungry. See, when I first fought Liston, I was hungry. I had something to fight for. When I first fought Frazier, I wasn't hungry, I lost. Second fight, third fight, Frazier, I was hungry. First Norton fight, I wasn't hungry. He was a nobody, I lost. So this next fight, now I'm hungry. But I say hungry, I don't mean...
How are you going to get hungry? Here you are, you're going to be 37 years old. You've got all the money you'll ever need.
I didn't finish. I said, when I say hungry, I mean for the
Yes,
title,
what I mean. How are you going to get that determination back?
Just the idea I'm not the champion. I got beaten and I lost. And he's the champion. He's better than I thought he was. How you feel reading the paper every day? Oh, the Cape Finder better in Vegas. This kid is just like... It tickles me because the press can be so right most times, and sometimes
so wrong.
When they're off, they're really off.
Yeah.
He said, this man is terrible. It's a shame he's picking on a man. 7 pro fights, you remember.
Mm-hmm.
After 10 rounds, he'll fall apart. One man, I'll give Ali round 6. I get Ali and get him in 12. And another man, and you see this, and you know, you want to fight, you want to win, but oh, I don't have nothing to gain. But now, they see he's bad, he won. Now I got something to work for. To get the championship back for a 3rd time.
I see that look in your eye, Ali.
You know,
But Muhammad, let's be serious for a moment. You're going to be 37.
You're not serious? You think I'm serious?
Yes, you're serious. Let me talk a little serious, though, for just a moment. You're going to be 37. You and I have discussed many times the rigors of training and what a drudgery it is for you and how difficult it is for you.
I know more about it than you do.
I know you do. You've told me many times how difficult it is for you to go back into training. The drudgery kills you.
But not now. But this won't be.
It won't be.
Mr. Cup, 4 days from now, I'll go to Deer Lake. The fight should come on in 3 to 4 months. I've never trained 3 months in my life for a fight. I've never ran the mountains I'm going to run. I've never chopped the trees I'm going to chop. I plan to make this the last one. It's a shame if I don't go out with the title. It's a shame for me.
You want to win the title and retire.
And get out. And not only will I win the title, but Floyd Patterson was the first man to regain it after losing it in history. I was the second man to regain it. But nobody could dream of getting a title 3 times. I'm in a position, this loss can be a blessing in disguise. I'm in a position to get my title back for the 3rd time and then get out and have a record. Okay, y'all get that record. See, I can only go under pressure. Remember, first 2 Liston fights, the people I've contracted were killed. I could go. Why do these things fight so hard? The press made him fight like that. Ali will kill him. This is no contest. The kids that made that man go. He did. And it made me go, but really, well, what I got...
He surprised you, in other words.
He surprised you, too, didn't he?
Surprised everybody. Let me ask you, champ, what mistakes do you feel you made in that first fight that you can still correct?
What, the fight, Spinks?
With Spinks.
Coming out, my whole intention was for 5 rounds. Oh, come on, Terry. I kept talking to him. Come on, Chomp. Just keep throwing him. Keep throwing him. And he's winning. 2nd round. Come on, Chomp. Just nothing. 3rd round. Just standing there. I can't say I'm tired because the fight just started. That was my plan. Now, if I fought for 7, 8 rounds and then went the rope, you would say his age got him, he's tired. But round 1, I laid on the rope, hoping, look, it got everybody else, but didn't get him. Next time, what can I do to correct
No
it?
rope-a-dope.
Bing! Stick it and move it. Over here. Over here. Almost
But I noticed in this fight, your left jab was not the usual stinger that it was, and your right punch was like a power punch. It didn't bother him at all.
Right punches on left.
I was watching the
Well,
fight.
you know my jabs and
It didn't
right
bother him at all. Your left jab ordinarily is a dynamic punch. It didn't phase him at all. He kept coming right at you.
Yeah.
You think because you were not in quite good enough shape?
No, I was in good shape. I couldn't make no excuses. I did. I was just overall. I'll tell you one thing.
You think your punches
No, I'll tell you
going?
I don't know. I'll tell you what I did wasn't right. I got Dick Gregory's health plan, which may have hurt me. No sugar, no salt. I come from 244 to 224 in like 6 weeks. By rights, you should lose 2 pounds. For a person who's 2 pounds a week, naturally, he's all right. In 6 weeks, I got 20 pounds. That was too quick.
Too much.
It was really too
Took the
quick.
strength away.
But I had no anyway. I don't know excuses. But I had some seasoning. I ate no salt because salt was liquid.
Yeah.
I ate no salt. I ate no sugar. And I think that's what got me. Because I admit, by round 8, I was tired. Round 9, around 14, 15, I was dead. When I fought Schaefer's, I was ready.
Yeah.
I ate a piece of apple pie, 5 hours for a fight. Doctor told me low blood sugar. Eat the sweets. In Zaire, I ate sweets. In the Frazier fight, Norton, I ate sweets. For some reason, I was convinced I should get off of sugar and trim down. And I got off of it, and I could feel it. I was totally exhausted. This is why I gave him total credit, because no excuses. He was the best that night. But I shall return.
There's no question.
I shall, where's the camera at? I shall return. Put them close up. I shall return.
Muhammad, did you...
See my eyes, watching to see how I
Oh,
look.
yeah. You're still pretty.
I had a black eye. Can you get the camera on it?
Yeah, you're right. I
Which
was still a
one?
little bloodshot,
Got a
too.
little bloodshot, too. Somebody thought I was out drinking all night.
Muhammad, did you have a premonition about this fight? Because the night before the fight, or a day before the fight, you had an interview with somebody, and you talked about the fact that you'd like to hold the championship for 15 years, but you said, I must be realistic, and you know you're going downhill. We all go downhill. And if something happens, you're going to be prepared for it. You were talking like you'd never talked before, like the possibility that you could lose. And this was before the fight. Do you remember that interview?
Not really.
You
It
talked
sounds
about
like
going
we're-
downhill, and
Sounds like
everybody
we're-
goes downhill, and
That's
you're no
right.
exception. And
That's right. I'll go down to, but very few can be at they my age, 37 almost, and in the ring with 24-year-old good fighter. And see, next fight I'm going to dance, if I have to. I'm going to dance for 15 rounds. Another 12, 13, no, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excuse me. On all the judges' cards, I won 5 rounds. 8, 12, 9, 10, and let me see, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 8, 9, 10, 8, from 8 to 12. I won those rounds.
yeah, you won the middle round, and you did it with your old form.
And moving.
Yeah.
But I got tired. And I told my manager, Herbert Muhammad, the other day, he says, Judge, call each other Judge. He said, Judge, he was too heavy. I thought I was like, see, I've been off and on 230, 240 when I'm not working. I felt like 229 I did good with Joe Bugner. 229 Mac Foster I did good. But I don't know why nowadays 228 is too heavy. 215, no extra weight, on my legs moving and training like I should. I'll tell you something else that got me. I trained in an apartment in Miami for this fight. It wasn't dirty like I couldn't chop trees, I couldn't run my heels, my log cabins, my roughage attitude I didn't have. It was too cold, too much snow. Man, I would look up and the snow was that deep. And they tell me in Pennsylvania, I had to go to Florida. And I'm not making no excuses, but I could have been in better shape. But I promise you,
You could have been in better shape, that's
but
it.
I promise you, by losing weight.
Yeah.
But I promise you, everything is like I want it now. I was underdog when I fought Foreman. Underdog with the Sacker Norton fight after broken jaw. Underdog with the Sacker Frazier fight. Underdog with the Liston fight. I got to be underdog. And as long as I'm underdog and have something to strive for, either another man's got my title, or I'm not supposed to make it, or now I'm old. Like you say, I'm old now. So now I can go. I got something to prove.
There's no question in your mind that you're going to have a
I
rematch.
will come back and take my title for the third time, and they all admit that I'm the greatest of all times.
But you're sure about a rematch? That's the question I was
Oh,
asking.
man, it got to be a rematch. Huh? The man...
What if he takes on somebody in
He
between
can
and
take on
loses?
Norton for $2 million. He can take on me for $5 million. Now he's got $5 million for me, $2 million for Norton. He's got the American public watching him and a couple more people overseas. If he gets me, he get the whole world, Asian, African, third world, Muslim, Europe, the world. As of now, I rule boxing. I'm not the champion, they say, but I still rule. This face you see here is the main man that they pay to see. And this face will still be here until I am. See, Floyd Patterson was knocked out by Johansson like that. And he had a chance to come back. Sonny Liston knocked out Patterson like that. He came back, right?
Does it ever worry you that you might get knocked out? That you might wind up on your back?
Not really. Maybe I'm crazy. I never believed no man is bad enough to make Muhammad Ali do that. I was going to tell a story, but I can't do it on TV.
Muhammad, how did your family, your children, and your wife react to the defeat?
Me
Must have been a tremendous shock to the kids.
My wife didn't pay no attention. Veronica, she just came back then and says, well, you should quit or really get in shape. She don't have nothing much to say. But I should make her, where is she at? I should make her come on here now and tell her what she think. Can you go outside and ask somebody to get my wife?
Yeah, see if his wife, Veronica's out there. See if she can come on.
She's so shy. I'm going to make her come on.
She's so pretty, too. She's even prettier than you, Muhammad. How did the kids, the youngsters, take it?
Well, my kids by my present wife are too young to work. But my other kids, Miriam, she called me from here and said, Daddy, I saw the fight, he hurt us, and I'm all right. And I just told them next time, if they believe anything you tell them, and I meant right, next time, Daddy will win, and don't worry about it. Daddy made a mistake. Daddy's going to do better, and we'll get him. And she said, okay. They didn't feel, as long as I wasn't hurt, but they all right, they saw it. Can't win them all. We're going to lose our mothers, lose our fathers, and lose our health, and we're going to lose a lot of things, but we got to keep going. That's why I guess...
One thing you haven't lost, Muhammad, is your popularity, and I know that a number of countries, even though you lost, still would pay you multi-million-dollar fees to come there and box.
Say one thing, mentioning countries and lost. I was invited to go to Bangladesh before a fight. Knowing I'm going to win, beat this little kid, never had 7 pro fights, you know we're going to win. So, I was invited to Bangladesh. After the fight, eyes swollen, sore, I lost. I didn't want to go to Bangladesh. You understand? Just got humiliated, lost my crown to an unknown kid, and go to Bangladesh. So I called the man, told him I won't go. The man cried. He says, his wife got on the phone, says, he's in the bedroom with a pistol. He was going to shoot himself in the head because 800,000 people were waiting at the airport, he said, will be there. The president will cancel a trip from Peking, President, I forgot his name, President Rahman, cancel a trip. And if I didn't come to Bangladesh, he'd shoot himself. He says, we love you because who you are, what you stand for, the Muslim faith, you want our brothers and not cause the fight. I had to go. I went, and now I'm glad I went. The reception and everything they had for me was just like I was still the champ, and I never felt better. I'm glad I went.
I'm glad you went, too, because you've made the commitment and you've made...
I'm surprised you even had me on your show after losing.
No, we've had a lot of losers on this show, Chad, including myself. Now, you have a tremendous reputation in the third world particularly. Are you going to try to capitalize or try to do something with that popularity, try to use it somehow?
Use it in some way for helping the people, not to drain them. Talking to President Rahman of Bangladesh, the English is what you know, Rob Newman, and everybody else who come, try to do all they can. And he's considering giving myself the fishing rights to about 95 miles of beach in Bangladesh for lobsters, crabs, shrimps, and whatever.
You have to develop it?
No, we have to get about a couple $1 million worth of boats, and we have the rights to fish. Also, to invite other people there who are in the fishing business. They just discovered from some things going in space.
Satellite?
Satellite, some kind of way. They discovered that there's a lot of fish there. Plus, we have a movie been made of Bangladesh, which I'm to bring around the country, probably get on television, showing the colleges and whatever, and other raw materials that the country need, Plus, I'm an ambassador. I'm Chicago's, my title is
Consul General?
Consul General.
Honorary Consul General,
The government is going to sponsor office here where I can represent the country. Anybody want to do anything with the country, they can come through myself. And I have a passport, 2 passports I can still use.
Yeah.
My wife's coming in. I want her to come over here, darling. She don't like to show off, but I want you to come on television to tell this man something about your daddy getting beat up. Come on.
Veronica, there's a microphone right there. Can you slip it on?
There you go. Have a seat.
This is Mrs. Muhammad Ali, one of the prettier women in the sports world, and in any world, I would say. Now you got it. We were talking before how you felt about his defeat, Veronica. What was the first thing that came through your mind when they said a split decision and a new heavyweight champion of the world?
I said I don't believe it. That's my first words, because I didn't believe it at first.
You didn't believe that
he also said that you told him he ought to quit now. Is that how you feel?
Well, I told him that's a sign that he's ready to go on and do other things and stop boxing and do bigger things.
Bigger things. You think he has a potential in the political world or the religion world or some other endeavors?
I think he has a potential in anything he wants to do, but I don't think he wants to go into politics. But
I don't mean running for political office. You would be a great ambassador. Are you laughing at your wife on camera, Muhammad?
What's so funny?
This may be the most attractive couple in the whole sports world. What are you laughing at, Muhammad? What's so funny?
What's so funny?
You don't stop laughing, we're going to bring Leon Spinks in here, and he'll straighten you up.
I'm just getting a kick out of watching her. What?
Does he often do this,
No.
break up like this for...
Never.
Something very funny. Would you like to see your husband out of the ring?
Well, I'd like to. I'm looking forward to it. What's so funny?
Will you let us in on the secret, Muhammad?
I'm just...
You can't do 3 minutes of laughing.
I know my wife. I'm just getting a kick out of watching the monitor when the camera's on close-up and watching her do her first interview.
Is this your first interview on television?
Yes.
Well, you're doing very well, Black, and we're delighted that you made your appearance right here. You want to look at yourself and see how pretty you are?
Excuse me.
Is he that good-natured at home?
Yes.
Is he easy to live with?
Yes,
Is
he
he?
is.
How about when he's in training? Don't they, he kind of gets on edge, you know, most fighters are that way. They're a little difficult to be around when they're in training.
Not really, but once in a while he might, but not really.
Is he a good father?
Yes, best, I think.
In the Muhammad religion, in his Islam religion, they usually have the man dominate the family, and he's the king of the family, and the wife has to be second class or second rate. Do you go along with that philosophy?
It's not that we're second class or second rate, but, you know, he's the man and he makes the main
He dominates the
decision.
family.
Yes.
And that runs against
You
the
don't
women's...
dominate your family.
I should say not.
No, your wife is the boss.
You're darn right. You know that, don't you, Muhammad?
Yeah, she little too, but she the boss.
You should see her
No,
right.
I'm just joking. I don't know your business.
Muhammad, if you had something, have you given any thought to what you want to do eventually with your life? We talked before about some
It's the best
international work.
interview I've ever had. I hate to get whooped, just do good interviews. But, well, we got 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
While I'm talking to y'all now, couples on telephone, so I just sat here and just reminisce and say I'm glad to be on the show. And I figured after I got whipped, I wouldn't be here no more. I was just talking while you was on the show.
Go ahead.
But anyway, what have I thought about doing? Mr. Cup, life is so short. If a man's, say, 50 years old, if he's 50, he's really about 20. Let me break it down for you. Add up all the hours you slept for 50 years, 8, 9 hours, When you went to bed last night, woke up this morning, you don't remember nothing. You was unconscious for 7, 8 hours. Add up all the 7, 8 hours you slept for 50 years, you probably slept 10 years of your life. You had to come to this show. You got to go home. You've been in other cities. You've been to college. Well, all your traveling time, probably 3 years of your life. You sat in high school from the 1st grade to 12th grade, 12 years in school, 6 to 8 hours a day. You probably sat in the classroom 3 hours of your life, 3 years of your life. Entertainment, movies, going out with your wife, probably 2 years. By the time you got children, by the time they're grown, you're pushing 70, 65. Yeah. So I'm 35, 6 years old. Another 30 years, I'll be 66. You're not doing too much at 66.
Oh, yes.
No,
you can be in the prime of life at 66.
No,
mentally, you know. You can be doing things with your mind that you can't do.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be too high at 66.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 30 more years. In those 30 years, I got to sleep. Probably 5 years.
Yeah.
I got to travel probably 3 years. That's 8 years gone. Entertainment probably 2 years. That's 10 years. I got about 20 more years to do. Now, what can I do in those 20 years? That's where you break it down. I have 20 more years to be productive. What can I do?
That's the question. Yes.
So the most important thing that I can think of is doing something for God, doing something for religion. I love people, I love images like Billy Graham, Oral Roberts, Wallace D. Muhammad, spiritual leaders, men who do all they can to help society, help humanity, and help people. And this is what I want to do. Travel the world wherever I can go and bring a light to, like the president of Bangladesh is making a film of all I did there to show people the positive things. So much bad talk been about poverty in Bangladesh. So now I have the role of helping to promote Bangladesh. That's honor. I have a role helping to bring business to Bangladesh. That's honor. I'm an honorary citizen, have a passport of Bangladesh. I fly the flag, American flag, and Bangladesh flag outside my office in my house. So these are things I want to do. Help a country, help a whole lot of people. And then we're going to a country called Swaziland to help the government. We're going to, where is it, in the Gabon, Africa.
How are you going to help them? In what way?
Well,
bring business to them, you mean?
No, the president, there's some things the youth need for inspiration, encouragement. The president's got it all laid out. We're going to Swaziland, we're going to Gabon, going back to Zaire, Mobutu, we're going to Gaddafi for Tripoli, Libya, and we're going back to Manchester, England, of all places, a couple of
Where you did that nice thing for that young boy, for that boy club?
This is the type of things I want to do after the fight, help people, because we're going to die soon. Everybody watching the show, the odds are 50 years from now they'll be dead. And when we die, we're going to heaven or hell, and it scares me to think that I'm going to hell to burn eternally. We have another life, which is inside here that we can't see. And that's when I want to, plane may blow up, you might be gone next year. We don't know. People go every day, read the paper.
That's right.
And to think that the life is not, say, 60, 70 years at the most, that I'm not going to heaven. So you got a TV show, so I'm not late, so I make some money, so we're famous, but we're going to die. And somebody's going to say, hey, why you act the way you did because you was champion, looking down on those who look up to you? Why did you enforce your laws, Mr. Nixon and Mr. Hitler, in my domain? Why did you look at others for your livelihood while in fact it was I who sustained you? What was your reason for this attitude? Is there any lawyer to defend you with his knowledge and legal skills? Do you have any recommendations which will save you from such grievous penalty prescribed by this rebellion? That's going to be scary. We're going to die. And we look at our bodies, look at our hair, look at our shape, we see we're getting old.
Are you worried about death?
Yeah, only that I don't see God in the hereafter. I mean, money, title, and fame and all that's good, but see, I'm going to die. See, before this show is aired, people who are watching this show now, some will be dead.
When you think about death, you think about the life after death.
Yeah,
you want to have
where am I going to go?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Am I going to be in a hot hell wherever it is forever and ever and ever? I see a poor man need some help. I see an old folks home in New York need some help. I see this man. No.
You've been very, very generous with your money. You've given away a lot of it, Muhammad, and a lot of people are in your debt as a result.
We don't know that I'm about debt, and nobody's about debt. We're just doing it for God And we're just trying to promote good and right, and that's it. So that's all I think about now, is when I leave, where am I going? I'm on planes, and we're on plane coming. We flew from Bangladesh to, where's this?
London?
Dubai.